Hey guys, welcome back to fitflexy.com. Today we are going to be going over headstands. So if this is your first time practicing headstands, everything I'm about to teach you, go ahead and do it next to a wall just to be extra safe. You can have your head from the wall about 2 hand widths apart. So headstands are a really great way to kind of get ourselves in more vulnerable positions on our yoga mat. Inversions just really help us with, of course, bringing blood flow to the brain, venous return, and just kind of giving us a deeper awareness with our breath. That deeper connection with our breath is going to give us a deeper connection not only with our bodies and ourselves, but finding that bliss in between the inhale and the exhale. With headstands, they kind of bring us back to that inner child that we have. It's lots of fun. And when we're upside down, we can kind of have that pause from the world for a second. And if you guys do practice yoga, or maybe you've had this feeling just in your life before where kind of nothing exists, and for that brief moment and the only thing that you're feeling is just your breath and your body, and it's a really great feeling. So doing the inversions and having that really intense focus on your body and the position that you're in, it can just really bring you to that type of meditative state. So I'm going to show you 2 different variations for the headstand that you can practice. You're going to go ahead and figure out which one works best for you. For the first one that I'm going to show you, this is the one that I always start people off with. It seems to be the best one to kind of get into that position. So any headstand position you get yourself into, it's always going to be the crown of your head. It's not your forehead and it's not the back of your head, it's always the crown of your head. So we're going to go ahead and take the top of my head down. And then from here you can have your knees just right about here. Hands are going to be right next to you, so they're not right next to my ears, they're right where I can see my fingertips. I have a nice table here. My tricep is my table. And so from here, we're going to curl the toes up, lift the hips up. And see how my arms are parallel to each other here. Curling the toes, lifting the hips up. We're going to walk the feet in as close as we can. Almost like we're trying to stack our hips over our shoulders, because that's going to help us get into the best balance possible. Bringing the knees to the elbows. Maybe you just bring one, or maybe you bring the other. And so you can just hold this here and maybe practice holding this. I always say this is kind of like the gateway drug into the full headstand. And so if you're feeling confident, you can try releasing one leg, or maybe you try releasing both legs at the same time. So like I said earlier, go ahead and practice that against a wall if you are just starting out. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me do some fancy moves in the headstand where I can come down really slow with my legs or come up really slow with my leg. It's called the float. So to build the float in your headstand, you really want to focus on bringing your legs down slowly from the start, from the up position and then coming down slowly. And then you'll build that core awareness. And when I talk core, we're talking about the front of our core, and we're talking our lower back as well, and all around our pelvic region as well. So everything plays a role: flexibility, core strength, and even upper body stability. So for the next one, this one I find a lot easier for myself because I can use my arms and my shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and make a basket with our hands, intertwine the fingers. So I have this little basket here, and we're going to take it to the back of the head, right next to the occipital bone, the back of your head. And so from here, I'm going to have my elbows tucked. And so my arms aren't out here, they're going to be right next to my ears here. I'll come down, so making that basket, bringing it to the back of the head, crown of the head is down, and I'll go slightly sideways so you guys can see me. And so it's the same idea. We curl the toes and we lift the hips up. And maybe you're just focusing on trying to get those hips over the shoulders, because once you really get the hips over the shoulders, you're gonna find the float. It's gonna feel a little bit lighter here on the legs. And so maybe bring one leg up, and you can just gently kick yourself up. And so from here, you're also using your shoulders to help you out here to balance, as well as hold the headstand. And it also keeps your head and neck a little bit safer as if you were not against the wall. So again, if you are just now starting to practice your headstands, you definitely want to do these against a wall. If you're looking for something more advanced in your headstand, I can go ahead and show you that now. For something a little more advanced, I'm going to go ahead and do the position that I like most, going with the basket. And so bringing the basket to the back of my head, we're going to go ahead and play around with our legs up here. And so lifting the hips up, bringing the legs up. Once you're up in your straight position, we're going to go ahead and we can try to kind of get a back bend and a hip opener here. So we're going to start to separate the legs just like scissors. One leg back, and then you can start to bend the knees. Lifting the back, or bringing the back leg back, you're going to feel a little bit of a hip opener. And then we're going to start to sink into that back leg, and we'll get a little bit of a back bend here as well. And still trying to separate those legs apart. And then we'll switch. So reaching my back leg back is going to get nice and deep into that quad and hip here. And bringing the legs up. And then maybe we take the legs wide. We'll get into the inner thighs here. Or you can bring the knees in. And this will really test your core. With headstands, they're just a really great way to, again, connect with our breath, kind of put our body in more vulnerable positions. Headstands are a really great way to, get into more inversions, such as your forearm balance and your handstand, because you're building that awareness of just being upside down. So when you're upside down, really try not to hold your breath. You want to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose as deep as you can. And that might seem impossible the first few times, but as you practice and as your practice evolves, of course it'll come easier with time and patience. So thank you guys so much for joining me here at fitflexi.com. I know this was a short tutorial. Go ahead and check out more on my website and scroll on down, way more tutorials, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.